You can change your Amazon business in the next 6 months. As someone that's been selling on Amazon since December of 2015, I have gone through ups and downs in my Amazon business. And today I'm going to discuss with you the options that I think most sellers should be looking at whenever they get into tough cash flow scenarios in their businesses, or even just to really take a bird's eye view, a much more zoomed out viewpoint of your Amazon business to make the right decisions so you can succeed much longer term in this business. Now, before we get to that, if you don't know who I am, my name's Jimmy Smith, and I've built and scaled multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses online. I've trained thousands of other sellers to do the same. And I make these videos because I want to make online selling simple for those that are seeking financial freedom. Now, let's take a look at an Amazon business that's very typical, actually. And I'm using this new tool, so hopefully this works out all right, because I want to be able to draw a little bit better for everybody here. Now, taking a look at an Amazon business, a lot of times where sellers get into a bad situation is going to come down to your inventory. Now, you may be somebody that's been buying inventory for years. You may be a new seller that's been buying inventory for just a few months. And you get to this point in your business where you have a lot of capital tied up in inventory, and you kind of feel like there's some slower growth, some slower momentum. So today I want to show you what I think most sellers should be looking at least on a monthly or every other month basis, to find out how they can unlock capital in their business to redeploy into better opportunities. Now, taking a look at an Amazon business, let's just say from an inventory standpoint, you've got about $10,000 tied up in inventory. Now, that $10,000 will typically result in a sales value of approximately $25,000 of sales. Now, that does not mean profit or anything else. That would be your traditional amount of sales value that you would get from about $10,000 of inventory. Now, it's going to vary for every single person. Ultimately, though, in my experience, I've seen typically if you're buying inventory, you're going to sell it for about 2.5 times of whatever you purchased it for. There are going to be those outliers where you sell it for 4 or 5 times what you purchased it for, and then there are going to be those times when you sell it for 2 times what you purchased it for. But typically this is what you're going to see. So if you're somebody that's kind of stalled in your growth in your Amazon business and you're not sure why you can't grow, well, take a look at how much you're spending on good inventory, because you may look back and say, wow, for the last 6 months I've spent about $10,000 every month in inventory, and so of course I'm going to have about $25,000 or $30,000 in sales every month, because naturally if I'm not buying more things, I can't sell more things. And so that is a place that a lot of sellers get to. However, there is also a place where you've bought inventory, you thought that it was going to sell maybe for $30,000, and you realize that, okay, it's actually going to sell for about $25,000 right now based on the prices that I have in my repricer. However, a lot of times you may be feeling some bit of a pinch from Amazon when you see a lot of competition that's actually priced a little bit lower than you, and you keep holding out hope that as you are running your business that the products will come back up on a profitable price point. So let's just say you hold out for another 2 months hoping that these products are going to sell. Well, my argument that I would pose to everyone here is that in a lot of cases, if you've held on to inventory already for 30 days and it's not selling at the price that you were hoping it to, it may be actually better for you to drop your price point to maybe your total sales value would actually be down to $20K, and you don't make much profit. Maybe you end up, instead of making $2,000 to $3,000 on inventory, you only make about $500 of your profit that comes back to you in the form of the profits for the products that you sold. I'm going to clear this out because I want to discuss that. If you get back a $500 profit instead of the $2,000 to $3,000 profit that you were hoping for, but ultimately that $500 profit ends up allowing you to then take $10,500 because you had your $10,000 of inventory plus the $500 profit, and you buy better inventory that you can actually make 30, 40, 50, 60% return on investment on, instead of holding out hope that in the next couple of months you're going to make a higher price point, then ultimately you're going to be better off for it because of the power of compound interest. Okay, so you've got compound interest here that's going to be helping you in your business, because with the way that Amazon works, it is a cash flow business model, meaning that the more money you can get back from Amazon, redeploy into fast moving, higher profit items or quick ROI items, the better off you're going to be. I would rather sell something 12 times in the year at a 20% return on investment than to sell something 2 times in the year at a 50 or 60% return on investment. investment. And the numbers just work better because every time you turn over that inventory, you're going to be able to increase your bottom line profits. Now, yes, you're going to also have a lower return on investment in some cases, but being able to find fast moving inventory that can just be turned over constantly is what's going to allow your business to grow. Not just that, it also helps provide some more safety and security from an Amazon standpoint because they're going to trust you as a seller a little bit more. You may get the buy box share a little bit more, and you're going to have more reviews and trust on your seller account because people are going to leave more feedback if you're selling through inventory faster. And so if you're trying to change your business in the next 6 months, what I recommend is going to be an approach of a few different things. So first, what you want to do is take a look at all of your inventory and see, is there anything that is over about 30 to 45 days? Okay, now I apologize for this writing here. Again, it's a new tool, so if you don't like it, let me know in the comments. And if you do, let me know in the comments. But you want to take a look at all of your inventory that's over about 30 to 45 days at Amazon that just isn't selling. And ultimately, if you realize, hey, this inventory isn't selling because my price is a little bit too high, maybe the competition has changed, whatever it might be, look at potentially starting to drop that inventory price. Because if you can drop it down and get 10, 15, 20% return on investment, that's better than waiting another 2 or 3 months to be able to sell it at a 40% ROI. Or it actually could get worse in 2 to 3 months. And so look at these things at the 30 to 45 day point, because that's when you're going to start being able to decide, do I want my capital back now to redeploy, or do I want to wait longer and hope that the price comes back? Now, after you do that, the second step is to then go out and find more products that actually you can redeploy that inventory to, or that cash to, so that you can buy things at a 30 to 40% ROI or higher. So that way, then you're turning over your inventory and you're then putting it into better inventory moving forward. And then the third thing is to continue to repeat this every, I would say, 1 to 2 months, if at all possible. Now, the way that I actually have set up my business to kind of automatically do this for me is actually utilizing, and this was not meant to be any kind of a promo for a repricer, but I utilize my repricer, and specifically I use Aura and their workflows. Now, the reason I use Aura is because it will actually reprice my inventory based on the inventory age for me. And so I've set it up that, once it hits 30 days of time where products haven't sold in my Amazon Seller Central, I've set it up for Aura to switch to be much more aggressive in pricing and to also be able to reduce the amount of profit that I was hoping to get out of it. And then I have it set up for after 60 days to be a liquidation strategy where we're much more aggressive in getting that capital back. Because if I'm able to get my capital back once every 60 days, that's going to help me much more than the people that are getting their capital back once every 120 days, because then I can redeploy it twice as fast as everyone else. And so I utilize Aura for this. I know that Be Cool has this option. Profit Protector Pro, I think, might also. Seller Snap should have this option. All the different repricers out there. But setting up your inventory to basically automatically do this from a workflow standpoint is going to be what you want. Now, I do recommend Aura. I do have an affiliate link down below at askjimmysmith.com/Aura. You can check that out in the links down below. But ultimately, if you're looking to change your business in 6 months, many times it comes down to getting rid of old inventory, getting your capital back, not being so emotionally tied to that inventory that it has to sell at a 40, 50% return on investment. You need to be okay at times dropping the price to get your 10% ROI, your 5% ROI, your break even, because you would rather have that money in your bank account to buy better inventory than to just have it sitting at Amazon where you're paying Amazon fees and you're dealing with all kinds of the other headaches that can happen with that. So ultimately, that's what I recommend for most sellers if you're in a kind of a different point in your business where you're trying to decide what to do next, or you feel like cash flow has been restricted. Look at getting rid of bad inventory, reinvest to good inventory, and focus more on cash flow so that then you can get that inventory and that capital turning over and over and over again. That's what will separate you from a lot of the other sellers that are newer, that are just hoping the inventory makes a bunch of money. If you're able to allow yourself to kind of let go of that and turn your capital over multiple times throughout the year, it's going to set you up much better long term to be able to have cash flow moving and to grow your profits in your business. Now, if you're someone that is already at $5,000 per month in sales or higher and you're looking to grow and scale your business, I recommend checking out my Business Building Legends community at askjimmysmith.com/legends. You do have to apply to join. online, but ultimately it's a great place where a lot of advanced resellers go to grow and scale their business with over 100 different systems and a lot of different training on Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Shopify, and so much more. Now, if you have any questions, post them down below. I'll be sure to answer as many as I possibly can. And I hope this video helped you and blessed you, and you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.